everyone.
Hey team.
Happy last week of our 8-week Upskill challenge. We did it.
We did it. It's been 8 weeks. I can't even believe it.
It's gone so quickly.
Yeah.
Good times fly when you are having fun.
And learning lots.
And learning lots. So I guess in this, in our last week challenge report, we're not going to really be jumping on to share more information. I guess it's more about the where to.
Yeah, and how to from here.
Yeah. So hopefully 8 weeks is a really short period of time. I cannot stress that enough. Sometimes, I've forgotten the saying exactly, but people overestimate what they can do in the short term.
Yeah, absolutely.
But underestimate what they could do in a much longer period of time.
Yeah.
So quite often we think, 8 weeks, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. But like, it's a really short period of time. So if you saw some changes and you made progress on some habits, that is such a small portion of your year and of your life in the bigger picture and plan of what your overall health and fitness goals should look like. You should be really proud that you've moved forward.
Absolutely.
No matter how small those changes are. We are going to be running in-body scans, obviously, over the next few days, but the end of challenge party isn't until Friday week, so Friday the 9th of September, and we're giving you girls the cutoff of up until the 8th of September to get in and get your scan done. So it gives you a great opportunity to be able to come in and see where you're at. And as I said, even if you get your scan done and you see no change on the scales, that's not necessarily a bad thing either.
Yeah.
It's important that you actually go away and you reflect on that to be like, well, what work did I actually do and what changes did I actually make? And hold yourself accountable for that.
Absolutely.
Because if you put in, say, an average effort and you got average results, then I think you should be pretty happy with that.
Absolutely. And success isn't always going to be reflected through your body composition at this point. Like, a lot of people's wins for the challenge have been the processes that you've been able to adapt to and take on. So it's not necessarily what your results will speak to if you may not see any change happening. It's about what's made your life easier and what understanding have you been able to generate around your nutrition and your lifestyle in order to help you go in the direction of where you want to be.
And everything is a stepping stone as well, and results are compounding. So if you have not been training previously, you might have spent quite a few weeks of the challenge just actually relearning how to move your body properly and relearning how to fuel it properly. And those two things might not necessarily be geared towards fat loss. Maybe the most important thing in that time was to get your body moving, unlock some mobility, keep yourself injury-free, learn how to fuel your body properly without depriving yourself, without being in a deprivation, and just getting back to the basics and solidifying some really good habits so that as you move on, weight loss might be then a focus.
And doing your in-body scan, like, I want to stress that this isn't the end point of anything. This is a reset, reflect, and realign kind of phase. So you've learned so much and done so much hard work in the last 8 weeks. It's not the time to do your scan and be done with it. It's time to go, okay, where do I go from here? And how can I get to that next stepping stone that I want to get to? Rather than thinking you can let go of everything that you've done, because why waste the last 8 weeks when you've been working so hard? And
it's an incredibly humbling process, training the body as well. You're not going to wake up one night and have arrived. It's a slow grind, and you have to continue to remind yourself of the importance of just showing up and doing the work on a daily basis, because that's where you get the results.
Absolutely.
So I guess for those people who have seen some really good results from their dieting and they've maybe seen some fat loss occur, we want to leave you guys with a little bit more knowledge and information so that you understand what should be next and what should be coming up. So first of all, as you know, we're big advocates for making sure you're not dieting 365 days of the year. Mm-hmm. You should have seasons for weight loss and cutting body fat, and seasons for being in maintenance, or seasons for focusing in on performance goals or growth.
Yeah.
The way you fuel your body for all of those different phases are very, very different, and you should not be living your life in a diet mindset or trying to live your life in a diet. Two things happen when you try and live yourself in a diet mindset is that you will find that you'll be grinding your gears, you will not be successful, you will be getting frustrated, you'll be yo-yoing, and you will definitely not be getting results because of that negative mindset that you're attaching to what it is that you're doing. And if you're trying to diet all the time and you find yourself just eating less and less and less food, your metabolism does auto adapt to the foods that you give it. So if it gets used to eating a low quantity of food over a period of time, it will down regulate a lot of your body systems and processes to handle the amount of nutrition that you are actually putting into the tank. Yeah. Things like it will start to pull essential energy away from your cycle and from your hormones. You'll find yourself getting sick all the time. You'll find that you just don't look very well. You'll find that your performance in the gym and your motivation to train will be really poor. So it's really important that you recognize the results that you have got and set yourself timelines around how long you are actually planning on dieting, and then what does it look like as you move out of diet phase and into what we consider maintenance and potentially a surplus if that's what you want. Mm-hmm. So I want to give an example for me because at the end of the day, like I have been dieting back. Well, really, since when I had Sienna, I have been having seasons of cutting body fat, but mostly during our challenges, and then seasons of increasing my calories back up. As I approach the last week of the challenge, this 8 weeks, I find 8 weeks an incredibly long period of time to be in a focused deficit. Yeah. So I've got to be absolutely 100% honest with you girls. My effort and compliance to my diet has been pretty crap over the last week or so, because it's probably like a couple of weeks too long where really I needed to be on a diet break just to be like, okay, Ange, reset, eat some more food, enjoy your training, be really well nourished, and then focus in on that deficit and go for it, as opposed to trying to be in a deficit but kind of really struggling to actually be in a deficit. Yeah. So things that I notice that me personally, I notice when it's time to actually get out of being in a deficit and get back into maintenance is my desire to train really goes downhill. I find it really hard to motivate myself to come into the gym and train. Second of all, I find it very hard to stick to the foods that I have planned for myself, and I'm like, oh, I would really love to have X. So I start to fantasize almost about the foods that I'd much prefer to be eating. Mm-hmm. Not to say that what I'm eating is not foods that I enjoy, but I start to develop a slightly unhealthier relationship. I also find that my energy might start to suck and I stop getting results, okay? Because of all those things, my body just needs to have a bit of a break. Yeah. So what a reverse diet is going to look like for me, I have not been tracking my calories. So typically a reverse diet, you would try and increase your calories by 100 to 200 calories per week. You keep an eye on your body fat, trying to minimize the amount of body fat that you're regaining as you build your calories back up. In my case, I have not been tracking my calories. I would estimate in a day, I'm probably consuming anywhere around sort of 1,600 to 1,800 calories if I was actually tracking it, which I'm not. But I'm going to think about the foods that I'm currently eating, and I usually eat the same foods, and I'm just going to try and add a little bit more food into my day without adding too much all at once. So little tips for me is going to be at breakfast time, I normally have an omelette with one piece of toast. I'll add an extra piece of toast in there, so that will give me an extra 100 calories right off the bat. And I'll probably look to add a little bit more healthy fats to my lunchtime meals, which are usually pretty lean. So adding maybe some cheese or some nuts or some avocado, which again will just naturally increase the amount of calories in my food. It's all about increasing the nutrient assimilation that's going on, because when you're in a deficit, you're eating less food. So there's just going to be less nutrients floating around in your body. Yeah. And as I said, it's okay to be in a diet for a short period of time, but when it starts to become ineffective and you stop getting results, that's a really good time to actually just stop, have a little bit of a break, rebuild your metabolism back up. And then in a couple of months' time, if you want to then go back down into a deficit and cut off a little bit more body fat, it's actually going to be a lot easier because your metabolism's running at a higher set point.
Absolutely. And bringing yourself back up to that maintenance phase, like one of our members asked me, how is she going to do maintenance without putting it all back on? And reverse dieting is the number one thing. But the second thing is that your maintenance now, after getting some results, is going to be different to what your maintenance was pre-challenge or pre-getting those results. So we're building back up to a point where you can maintain the results that you've made, and you're able to maintain and get to more of a homeostatic position with your body composition now, to then go into another deficit in a month or 2 or 3 months. And I would argue that that's more important than the initial results that you get and the initial body composition change, because that's when it becomes sustainable and it becomes your new normal, and you're able to keep that longevity in results throughout the next few months. So I think that's like a really important principle to take under your tool belt, to be able to stabilize your results rather than going yo-yoing and all.
Totally. Yeah. So once the challenge finishes, so for me personally, I'm actually going away on Wednesday, which is super exciting, but I'm going to be really mindful that I am just coming out of the challenge. So things that I'm going to keep up while I'm away is I'm going to try and still train 3 times a week. We've got some hotel gyms that are close by, as well as maybe look to find some CrossFit gyms to go to with Jezzy. And that will be making sure that my results don't reverse, because everything is reversible. And I don't want to be coming back weaker than where I left. I want to be able to maintain what I've got while giving my body a really good chance to rest as well. I'm also not going to go YOLO with my diet and spend the whole 2 weeks by the pool drinking daiquiris, because I know that's not going to make me feel good either. So you have to really make sure that you are super clear on what actually makes you feel good. Eating really good, high quality, delicious foods is exactly what I'm going to be doing, as well as moving and just being mindful of probably alcohol consumption as well. So that's what we'd be recommending that you guys do as well, is that you keep up with your training, use the extra calories to keep pushing yourself, pushing your performance, because you should notice as soon as you start eating a bit more food, your body is an amazing beast. It does a couple of things. It works a lot harder in the gym because it knows the calories are there. But also, it's funny, studies say that your body, when you start to be in a deficit or a diet, your body actually looks for ways to stay still, to stop moving.
It does. It naturally reduces your movement.
Naturally reduces down your total daily energy expenditure. So you end up walking less. And I've noticed that just with myself. Like over the last couple of weeks, I've just not been that motivated to get up and go for a walk and just incorporate more incidental exercise into my routine, because as I said, my body's going, I don't really want to spend calories in that way. So we hope that those few tips will really help you guys be able to reverse out of the challenge. Whether you've lost 1 kilo or whether you've lost 5 kilos, it is really important that you think about your reverse strategy.
Absolutely. And reflecting on the habits that you girls have built over the last 8 weeks, think about the things that have really helped you and really contributed to taking pressure off your lifestyle, making you feel more organized, and don't drop them next week. Keep them going. Like, these are things that we wanted to learn to be able to keep them in place to make your life easier, make it easier to stay more consistent. So although it might be tempting seeing that 8 weeks as an end point, just keep on going, keep your momentum up, and remind yourself of why you're enjoying these habits and why they're important to you.
Totally. So if you've been finding that your weekly meal prep has been really helpful, still do that Sunday.
Absolutely.
Or whatever it's been. Our Are You Okay night and end of challenge party is happening Friday week. So please make sure you RSVP to that one. It's going to be lots of fun. Great chance for you guys to catch up with each other outside of the gym, maybe form some new amazing friendships as well. But yeah, bring on the scans, girls. On another note, we do have some cute little whiteboards that we'd love you when you come in for your scan. Write down what you're proud of, or write down what you've gained from the challenge or what you've learnt. We'll take a cute little picture of you holding up your sign. And as I said, we'll draw out a prize for whoever takes part in this, a little cheeky 23W merch pack.
Love it.
Will be in your hands. So well done, girls.
Well
Awesome
done.
challenge.
Amazing.
We also have another challenge, our spring challenge, which is just around the corner, really. 6 to 8 weeks' time. Should be lots of fun. Keep your eyes open for that one. It's going to have a slightly different focus and even more great educational resources for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one's going to be 6 weeks, so it's going to be short,
sharp,
sweet,
yeah,
and super fun.
Super fun. Yeah. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you thought of this video series. And actually, in next challenge, we're planning on upping the ante even more.
We are.
With possibly podcasting these.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Whether you would enjoy to watch them in video form or listen to our beautiful voices.
Yeah. See how we go.
There we go. Okay.
Thanks, team.
Peace out. Bye.
Peace out.
Peace out.